to the top, so you better buckle up. Buckle up, you better buckle up. Flying to the top, buckle up, flying to the top, buckle up. Flying to the top, buckle up. Flying to the top, buckle up. And rising, waking up, feeling great, feeling love. Woke up like this, green smoothie in my cup. Got my 3 kings beside me, know exactly what it's up. Spaceship to the top, so you better buckle up. Rising, waking up, feeling great, feeling love. Woke up like this, green smoothie in my cup. Got my 3 kings beside me, know exactly what it's up. Spaceship to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up.
We back like we never left.
Yeah.
We back
Yeah.
like we never left. Hey, it's your girl StarChougie in the building, man. Here to shine a little light on a
Dog situation.
man. You already know what my lovely modeling co-host
Friend that is, peace.
in the
Kitty
building. So, today's topic, self-distraction. It really ain't the rap. All this is bugging. It's like, no. It's about what we talk about today, friend.
Escaping the Matrix.
Ways to know. I said 7 ways, but it's so many more
There's
ways.
a million ways to die. Choose one.
Right. To know 7 ways to know that you're breaking free of the fake matrix. Not the matrix, which is the womb. We don't want to break away from that. But there are ways to know that you're breaking away from the fake matrix. And we're going to run those down for you today.
Okay.
First, let's go on here and tell me how your week was, because I'm interested. I mean, I'm living vicariously through you in these streets. You outside every day. Go ahead.
Allegedly. Like, man, it's been an interesting week, just working hard and, expectations, what I'll say. Yeah, I'll call this week expectations. And, it's like I had to put some expectations on some of the, like, employees. So say you working, right?
Okay.
And you know how you got guidelines and things to follow and abide by, right?
Right.
But so does everybody. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get so caught up in expectations. You gotta hold people accountable to expectations also.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. I have expectations too.
Can you fill me in on what the expectations were? And
well, anything. No, it don't matter. Any job you have a task and duty, and you have expectation to get compensation for the work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when you contractually signing for that, that's all I'm expecting. So anything more and above and beyond that should be negotiated, further. Mm-hmm. And if you further infringe on me, then I might have to talk to somebody about that. Like, you know what I mean? It's a couple hotlines and stuff that I got. It's these papers on the wall. And they're like, if you're feeling uncomfortable or feel like someone is compromising your integrity, call 1-800. Yeah.
I mean, are they sexually harassing you on the job?
Oh, that happened before, but that's so funny. That's another thing. I ain't gonna even get into how that happened before. That was wild. That's a bad joint. It's a bad joint.
I don't believe it's bad because
it's very bad.
What?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Let's go ahead.
It's real bad. Okay. So I'm a supervisor at this job, and it's just not on duty boy that come in, right?
Oh, damn.
I said it's bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad. I
knew you wasn't going to say it was bad if it was a female doing it.
No, I'd have been harassed. Like, I'd have been a handsome in distress. Oh, save me. I'd have tripped over and fell into a booty.
So you got harassed by a booty bandit?
It was a bad joint. Yeah, so it all started, right? One day I'm like, yo, I'm here.
In South Philadelphia.
No, it was in West. It wasn't in South Philly.
West.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, you know the script. Don't switch it up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, keep going.
But yeah, so I'm like, yo, I'm here. I'm just in the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
So the first thing he said is, okay, cool, don't hurt nothing.
Oh.
So I'm like, I ain't nothing to hurt. Bathroom, you just normally go to the bathroom. You're on the
Maybe
toilet.
he thought you was gonna make it number 2.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm like, yeah. So I said, okay, whoa, blah blah blah. Who do you? So second time, him and this other guy, skeptical guy, they was in the office playing this game by themselves called Boggle and stuff. So I'm looking like what is y'all doing? Like, silly me. Should have mind my business. So I'm like, how you play that game, right?
Oh shit.
He takes the joint and spells it. He says PENIS, right? Now me, I don't even know that spell penis is something because I never like heard, niggas be like these nuts and shit like that. Like I never like really heard nobody's penis. So my retarded self, I left and then I said, oh, he spelled
it. Why did
I'm
he
just
spell that
I'm just
out?
like, oh, he spelled the word. Oh, that's a spelling game. I ain't even think to even mention the word. So last straw, I'm like, oh man, this is a bad jump. You need to ride home, right? You need to ride home, right? Ah, yeah, dude.
Oh no,
right?
See, so, bro, you gotta turn down rides sometimes.
Yeah. I learned that. I learned that, right?
You know what I'm
but this is in my younger career.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Go
this
ahead.
was back then and all
right.
that. So I get out of the car. He go to shake my hand, right? He hit it with the wiggle, tickle, wiggle on the tickle.
Oh, buddy, I know about that wiggle.
Oh, so
I know about that.
That got me kind of fired from the job. Because I go back to work like, oh, this nigga, I'm telling everybody. Like, I'm just going crazy. I don't know how to take it. Like, you know what I mean?
But that's the thing. You know that tickle in the palm of your hand thing?
I don't know what that means,
That's the thing, buddy.
Yeah, that's a bad job.
It was coming for you. Ways to know that we are breaking free of the matrix. You should have got paid. Why didn't you?
Because I ain't it was like back in the time. Like I ain't really know. This was probably back in 2012.
Yeah, you'd have been.
Like I was like young in my career. Yeah, I was like 24. I was like young.
Yeah, that sexual harassment is real. And guess what? I'm sure you wasn't the last person that he did that to.
Yeah, I was mad, but I got him back though.
All right, one of the first things. I'll go. You go. How about that?
What? One of the first things.
I'll go and then you go because I want to drop this one off.
Drop the bomb.
All right. One of the first things that you will come into, that you will embark on when breaking free of the matrix is realizing that religion is a farce. You'll start to question religion.
A farce.
A farce. A farce. So you'll start to question religion. And the stories that they give you and the good books or whatever like that. That was one of the first things that now mind you, these do not have to be in sequential order because everybody wake up differently.
Yeah.
And it's triggers for everybody, for different people. And here's the other part. Everybody won't wake up.
Yeah.
Everybody won't, gain a consciousness time
around.
Woke, and if
they
do,
stay asleep. Like,
they don't want to know it because they don't want to have to deal with it. But it doesn't make them better or worse. It just means that it's not their time yet. And to be honest, you could be far gone because you could have reincarnated here way more times than that person. So it's about time your ass woke up. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they just on a second or third bout and they didn't figure it out yet, or they not ready. They just not ready. So when conscious people, when you begin to wake up from the matrix and you notice that a lot of folks aren't, please do not start to judge people because that will number one, hold you back from growing any farther. And you definitely will not ascend with judgment. So do not judge or think that you're better or nothing like that when you begin to go through this journey, All right, go ahead.
And I'll say, the biggest thing for me was, identifying yourself as an individual and not being ashamed for that or led, because you can't break free of the matrix worrying about the idealistic views of the matrix. Like
being a free thinker, that's actually number 6 on my list.
So yeah, I feel like you definitely had to, because if you have no control over your thoughts, you have no control over yourself.
Yeah, that's true. And as far as the religion is concerned, when it comes down to questioning a lot of things, there are going to be people in your family, which brings me to 2. you won't fit in. So there will be people in your circle, family, friends, and foe, that may start to look at you like you're a little weird and you might not fit into certain cliques or whatever. But just be ready for that. Be ready to walk alone sometimes. The universe is definitely going to bring you your star system family, and your universe family will you start to meet these people in the cuts like Moose Batu over there. You know, like these are people that you'll start to meet. There, you'll know. Okay, I'm not losing my mind. I'm not crazy. Other people see what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Other people see what I'm seeing. So don't start to feel alone, cuz it's all right. It's just a process, and you will bump back into some people. But you may be judged, and people might look at you like you're a little strange, or your way of thinking is a little contrived. But it's all good. That's all part of the process, part of the journey, the growth, you know. What do I have here?
Yeah, and to go
Deeper on the you don't fit in part?
no, I'm gonna go into like, any way of life that, people indoctrinating, because I'm gonna say, some everybody took something to get to a step, to get to a next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whatever you into, just make sure you defining it, understand the origin, and understand the purpose. It's like a good movie. It's like when you identify you watching a movie, you're gonna take the good out of it. You're gonna take the bad. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, Jason just a movie. Like, you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? So with a lot of things, just recognize a lot of things is written in parables, and people put their own interpretation on the message. But your mind works. If you don't want nobody to eat your food for you, you shouldn't accept regurgitated thoughts.
Period. All right. So we also have you begin to see things differently. You find yourself uninterested in a lot of things that the masses are interested in. One thing for me is the concert, not the concerts, that too, but just the stars, the so-called the fake stars, the celebrities, whatever. And like the awards, the BET awards, and all those awards and shit. Like, I'm so totally uninterested. You can't pay me to watch half this shit. Some of the stuff that I used to watch, I would never watch again. Even like the reality shows, the so-called reality shows, because we know they scripted, because I done hung with half of them that did those scripts, and you know what I mean. And so we know that the reality shows are scripted. But I wouldn't watch those things, because I'm just focused on the real at this point. And so a lot of the unrealistic things, or like the shit that don't matter, that used to matter to me, don't matter now. A lot of the clothes, the designers and all that, I used to be big on that. Had always had to have a foreign car. All these things was things that I was big on, just because I was doing what the Joneses and the Cloneses was doing. You know what I mean? But a lot of those things I just don't even give a damn about anymore. I drive a pickup truck now. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really like you'll start being uninterested in a lot of things that a lot of people around you love and idolize.
Yeah, and I say, definitely you gotta find your folks. Like, you're gonna have a lot of questions,
Yeah.
and then you gotta even understand like who you question. So like, definitely like build some people that you could talk to, that's, and not just anybody. Like, the people I was able to talk to was like, it wasn't nobody that, no disrespect, seen something on YouTube about Egypt.
Yeah,
This
right.
is somebody that went there, studied
Exactly.
there, like Dr. Carr. Shout out to Dr. Carr. He's a professor at Howard University. He taught me a lot of stuff, but this is a person that got over 30 years of actually
Going in the field.
yeah,
In the
study.
field.
You know what I mean? So when you do research and stuff, at least check your source. Make sure it's not somebody that's just looking up stuff on the internet and compiling data. Like,
Yeah.
if you ain't out there doing your own excavations like Indiana Jones and all like that, like, I don't respect it, because can't nobody come in my hood and tell me about a pack of oodles and noodles they never ate.
Well, yeah, it's two things. One for certain is, when you're coming out of religion, you look for a new master. That is one of the things when waking up that you will find yourself embarking on. You'll start watching some of these YouTubers or some of these speakers, motivational speakers or whatever, and you'll connect to them, and next thing you know their word is Bible, because you're so used to you're programmed to have a master. Now you're detaching from having a master. You then jumped out the fire into the from out the pan into the fire. So basically you gotta really go within. Even when I'm watching, I don't care who I watch, I will watch anybody for their perspective. But what I do is go within, and if I feel it, you one thing about the truth is consistent, and you feel it. You don't have to like prove it. You don't have to prove the truth. It's like you feel it. You know that this is what it is. That's facts.
Yeah, I feel like the truth will prove itself.
Yeah.
And like they say, seeking you shall find. Like I told you, it's some stuff that I accidentally bumped into. Like I was studying about, 38th parallel and things of that nature, and the power,
which are very important.
Yeah, the power and the ley lines and things of that nature. And they used the strategy in the Vietnam War, and they used the 38th parallel when a lot of times war battles is fought on the 38th parallel. You know what I mean? So when I'm
because of the portals, the chaotic portals that they made on those parallel,
Yeah, and you
they made chaotic portals on those parallels to cause division, a lot of them.
Yeah, and this is documented. This ain't nothing that, you know what I mean?
Right.
This been around before internet. You know what I mean? What I'm saying. But short story shorter, I asked my son, I said, you wanna drive the David and Buster's, or you wanna walk by the water?
Right.
He said, it was a nice Sunday. He said, I wanna walk by the water.
Yeah.
So when we walk by the water, I look up and it say 38 parallel drive. And then there's a whole monument breaking down the whole thing, all what they did in the wars. It had the different phases and stages. And I just walked into that.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Ben Franklin Parkway is loaded with it. That's where the gates of hell was open. Ben Franklin, flashing the key is really representing him opening the gates of hell, which is a portal. Is a lot of things that was done here in Philadelphia, which is why we are one of the most chaotic states. Cities, I'm sorry. But it was a lot of things that happened first here. A lot of dark energies. I'm not going to say bad or whatever, because everything was necessary.
Yeah.
So
no, that's true. You see how they say, I went to Orton Reed, right? And they say Orton Reed is a bad school, right? They call it a jail on top of a hill, but the school was built over top of an Indian graveyard. So it's a lot. We don't know how much stuff that's probably build over graveyards. We probably just living life over top of water. People. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? They built so much shit on water, on graveyards.
We don't know what's going on for real.
There's so much shit up under us. That's why shit go up in hills and mountains, and you take these big drops down some of these streets. Like, damn, you wonder what's up under here. But yeah, all right. So moving on.
Back to you, Jude.
All right. You begin to see things different. That was 3. Oh, okay. Your food choices change. So that happened for me actually before I really started to gain awareness on other topics. I became pescatarian almost 6 years ago. Matter of fact, it's been 6 years. So I've been pescatarian.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Happy pescavversary.
Hey, you already know. But yeah, so the pescatarian thing happened for me, which is huge, because you'll be surprised what foods will help to keep your pineal glands shut. A lot of sugars and fluorides and all that will keep your pineal gland, your third eye, whatever you want to call it. Your third eye is really your first eye, because that's the spiritual eye, the most important one that sees things that these two don't see. So foods can make a difference. Your diet your way of life when it comes to food and choices can make a big difference in consciousness and awareness. So that may have helped play a part in it. I really would like to be vegan, full-fledged vegan, and I'm working on it. And I don't want to be a slutty vegan. I want to be like a, like because the potatoes and the rice and the the bread, that's called like being a slutty vegan when you still laying all that stuff in there. I'm talking about literally greens, fruits and vegetables. Period.
Oh, you all over here with it.
But I'm working on it, and it's gonna happen. But for your food choices, that happened for you, right?
Yeah, I'm probably about like
2 years,
3 years.
Three?
Yeah, almost about 3 years.
That's really good.
Yeah, one day I ate some chicken and it did something to my stomach. I ain't lie.
It was clucking all over the place.
Yeah,
Said,
I ain't lie. I thought I had bladder stones. I ain't know what's going on. I had taurinosis of the rear. You know what I mean? I ain't know what was going on. I never wanted to feel that way again.
But
it's like you ever get so drunk and be like, I never want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was. I never want to eat a chicken again.
Yep, and, I got that kind of wasted in Mexico before. I was like, never again, never ever again will I do that. But yeah. So your way of eating changes. It could. I mean, it happens slowly for some than it do for others. I mean, like this is not Chougie Bible of consciousness. This is just some of the things that I've embarked on and the people that I know embarked on.
Yeah.
And like I said, it didn't happen in this order.
Everybody got to find their own way, their own tailor suit that suits them.
Absolutely. Here's another one. But you know what? Let's go to some music first. Let's get some music real quick, and then we get back to it. Because I do got a couple more ways to know for you to know, and some things you could do once you start to wake up to help you get through it.
Like make some music.
Music is definitely one.
Rising, waking up, feeling great, feeling love. Woke up like this, green smoothie in my cup. Got my 3 kings beside me, know exactly what it's up. Spaceship to the top, so you better buckle up. Rising, waking up, feeling great, feeling love. Woke up like this, green smoothie in my cup. Got my 3 kings beside me, know exactly what it's up. Spaceship to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Buckle up, if you better buckle up.
Sun shining, wrist shining. I'm flying, I'm up there, so exciting. Woke up feeling great, cheese, eggs, watch is great. Mike Christina, ask her on a date. We can hit the beach up or maybe roller skate. The music at the park while we escape. We flying, we gliding, we flying.
Rising, waking up, feeling great, feeling love. Woke up like this, green smoothie in my cup. Got my 3 kings beside me, know exactly what it's up. Spaceship to the top, so you better buckle up. Rising, waking up, feeling great, feeling love. Woke up like this, green smoothie in my cup. Got my 3 kings beside me, know exactly what it's up. Spaceship to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Buckle up, if you better buckle up. Flying to the top, 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 buckle up. Rising, waking up, feeling great, feeling love. Woke up like this, green smoothie in my cup. Got my 3 kings beside me, know exactly what it's up. Spaceship to the top, so you better buckle up. Rising, waking up, feeling great, feeling love. Woke up like this, green smoothie in my cup. Got my 3 kings beside me, know exactly what it's up. Spaceship to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Flying to the top, so you better buckle up. Buckle up, if you better buckle up. Yeah, you only get one. Yeah, one. on properties, yeah. Turn my life 160 degrees. Jet skis in the 40s. We gonna be what you wanna be now. You're right where you're supposed to be. Yeah. Faith in your Lord and leave it be. When it come to doors, he hold the key. What he has for you, not enough for me. Yeah. What he has for you, not enough for me. Treat my life with the same energy. Mama, we made it. Yeah. Look how far we done made it, yeah. Always said we would make it, yeah. Know you're glad we done made it, yeah. Flew to the club, hella paid us. Bottles of juice, they fill up my cup. We turn up, about to go down. Situation in that section. Throw the X in a circle. Have them suspended like Gurgle. This just for fun, nothing personal. Private jets, no commercial. Only one chance to live it up. Working back in the level trap. It's a theater in the top. It's a cool, it's a 1-on-1. Number 4, none to come. Stacking the paper, tell us that.
I'm tryna run up a bag, $1 million in cash, 200 on the dash, like going fast. Pulling up quick, dripping this glass. I'm back, I'm fine, I can take it on the glass. With the folks, give me smoke when we pop out. Tryna put bro on a boat, bring a yacht out. No flexes, Rolex, and make niggas watch out. Quick to put smoke in the air, niggas keep out. Be my best ability. I was in the church, stomach empty, ain't nobody come get me. Hey, I live it like Whitney. I'm taking a trip out to Houston, chauffeur the bit. Hey, I'm feeling like 50, I'm pulling a 50. Take a shot like dirt the whiskey. Smoking on sticky, take a fight, gang coming with me. Shoot you on the chain cause it's brisky. I be in the club, get lit up. Tripping with the buzz, getting bit up. I just put a fifth up, hey. Shot like George on my wrist up. Sure we getting money in the hood, so we walk around blicked up. Niggas don't know me up top like the top block, but I'm low-key. Drop top, spin a rock block like I'm Hovey. Kanye with the Kim K, need a trophy. Smoke a OG.
Only one chance to live it up. Working back in the level trap. It's a theater in the top. It's a cool, it's a 1-on-1. Number 4, none to come. Stacking the paper, tell us that. I'm gonna live life up and tell us that.
A, B, C, D. BeeChougie.
Educated and get related.
Hey.
And not get demonstrated.
And elevated.
Oh, here goes Skinny Big Papa. Yeah, I mean, and elevated.
And all the
You
80s.
might get hated. Might get blocked on this show.
Damn sure.
Instagram might count on your Facebook.
They do.
Because
Yeah, they be
give
hating.
up, I ain't gonna lie, little cuz give up some knowledge of self where
Thank you very
people
much.
ain't ready to accept that information, you know?
I respect them though. I respect the ones that's not ready. Because everybody's not going to be ready right now. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, though.
Everybody's not ready right now, and that's all good because they got to do it in their own time. But obviously, I done been through enough bouts here that I'm ready. I'm ready to see whatever they got for me. Let's go.
So getting being ready is, you know how you gather and acquire a lot of knowledge, right? So it's about applying the knowledge, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a pissing contest. I know this. If you can't apply what you know and it practically work for you in your life, then you actually know nothing. And no disrespect to anybody that's just like to know a bunch of stuff and tell everybody what they know. It's about changing your life, changing your family life, then changing your community. You know, that's the purpose to acquire the knowledge, not to have a pissing contest or whatever.
One thing
like
for
that.
certain, I've taken on a hell of a responsibility because you got to understand that some of the things that I say, well, everything that I say is being heard from somebody. It could be one person, it could be a million people. Yeah, and this can change their life, 110%. So I had to be very careful, and I have to do my research on everything that I present to y'all because I don't want to be charged, karmically charged with fucking your life over because I didn't give you some information. Hey, baby, I didn't give you some information that wasn't, fortifiable. You know what I mean? So I definitely do my research before I bring y'all things. That is for certain. And if I don't feel it, if I bring it to you, I felt it. You know what I mean? I felt it in my heart, not just a little bit, but like that this is what it is for me. So then you got to go and see if this is what it is for you. Never take my word and run with it.
You do your own research. Definitely, you gotta do your own research.
I mean, and then you should do your own research because what you interpret that message as being, the next person may not interpret the same thing.
Yeah, they might see it differently, right?
And honestly, I know that I always say that a lot of people don't agree, but that's why I agree with religions and politics. You gotta have some type of law and order. It's so. Look at Star. She wants to say.
Yeah, but I mean, you because at the end of the day, you have to have law and order within you.
You gotta do what works for you. Is what I say.
Yeah.
Like what I feel is like if once I get the instructions how to put something together, if I gotta read it 90 times, something must really be wrong with my comprehension, or I'm not applying the instructions to my life.
Well, yeah, because everything written back then was written in a what's the word? Not metaphorically. But,
parables.
That's
what it's called.
That's not the word I was.
That's what it is, though. It's written in parables.
Yeah.
And allegories.
Allegories too, but wait a minute, I forgot.
For you to learn, basically, the stories for you to learn from concepts to apply it to your life.
Yeah.
You take this was a sinner, white man, black man, Chinese man. This happened. It could have been a joke or something real could have happened. But within these people, they made decisions and they had obstacles. And each one of them had a different road depending on the decisions and the choices they made. Ultimately, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Making the best decision to execute, to be at your highest potential.
Yeah. All right. So 7 is become an influence by living by example. I agree with that because that's one of the things I was just saying.
Just what's on the
ways to know that you're breaking free of the matrix. So you definitely want to lead by example because now people are watching you. Okay, not only do they think you have lost your mind completely, but when they see all the things transforming around you, you know what I mean? Because everybody's just waiting for me to collapse and crumble and burn because I walked away from religion. You know what I'm saying? And I was religious. I was holy roller. I still was in these streets.
Well.
But I was indoctrinated. My mama, my daddy, my grandfather, my grandmother, everything.
All sides.
Yeah, I had it on both ends.
But that was the only thing that we were actually
taught. Right.
Taught. It's like it's important. Let me see. Well, you already answered, and I know you because I be wanting somebody else's opinion. Like, at what point did you decide that you needed to teach? Now, let me give you. I got a good one for you, cousin.
Yeah.
With all the stuff that's going on, you don't think it'd be dumbed down a little bit if the young men and women that's doing all the violence, and we not to point no fingers at whatever age demographics that you recognize, you don't think that having that some type of stability as far as a religion or
absolutely. I feel like
would make.
Well, no, I don't feel like
they have no kind of conscience of nothing to be.
Well, that's the problem.
Afraid of.
That goes the problem right there.
Like if you do this, you're gonna.
Well, see, that's the problem right there. If they had a consciousness, if they were taught in school that to know thyself, if they were not being heavily sedated with all the chemicals and all the things, that's a lot of the reasoning why they're acting this way, and they do think more of themselves, and they do know that they are God. And they do know that their imagination is what's creating everything that's happening in front of them, then things would be a whole lot better. But they don't know that. We already taught that imagination is just that. It's a thing that a child has. We're not taught that that's what is making our day-to-day happen.
So
imagination is God.
Question, cousin. Like my newborn little cousin.
Yeah.
Your son.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm raising him.
If I understand how you raising him, I can imagine. I mean, I can only, see it. But when he get to an age, you don't think it's important to let him make his own decision?
Yeah, it's very important for me to tell him
not tell him.
It's very important for me to give him guidance because I was told that I was nobody but a mere morsel, and without Jesus, I was nothing. So if I was told that I was a mere morsel and I let him know that he's everything, he came down here being everything that he needed to be, and that he don't have to go to a third party. He's going to begin to go within. And when you go within, you can't get lied to. Your higher self has the truth. Your higher self has all the answers, and it has the truth.
Let me change the subject.
Yeah, before
I see you got this fresh Chougie sweatsuit on.
You already know.
Wait a minute, no, cousin. You back? Because
I mean, I'm just
some
saying.
of my exclusive pups, when I look back on a movie that's about to, you did your thing in there too.
Thank you very much.
You know what I mean? You did your thing.
Thank you very much.
Marky killed it.
He did. Him and Jakira. That was all our cousins.
Yeah.
Everybody who modeled for that fashion show for me was family.
But I like this. I was checking. I said,
thank you very much.
Okay, cousin.
You know, Toucan actually threw the logo and everything for me. But, you know, this is definitely my design.
I like your idea. I mean, thought process has to manifest first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I wanted to get on this before we get on the next.
Okay.
And then also to like piggyback off of that, I believe it's the lack of ownership. Like when you don't own like property in your neighborhood, you don't make the decisions. Ain't nobody parents at these town meetings when this going on in school and when it's going on. And it's like even though everybody is in, these religious places, get in these schools, come to this town meetings, come to this ownership, because that's only one place, it's a spiritual realm, a financial realm, it's just so many different realms that grows a community and things of that nature. So we gotta teach our children how to own. Like you're never going to
entrepreneurship.
You're never going to feel like nothing if you don't own nothing. And I remember when I used, when you were young, we used to go around and say, "I'm a grown ass man," right?
Right.
When I was in 9th grade, I had a teacher said, "You're not grown until you own," because the word "grown" got the word "own" in it. So don't say you grown until you own something.
Well, ownership has a lot. It can go in a lot of ways. The origin of the word "grown." Well, all these words are spelling words.
I just like to see, because if you can dissect the origin of something, then you can basically see what the intention was.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything has.
Well, Elder once told me, to be grown, you had to be 40 years old and know several languages to be considered grown and respectable.
That sound like an elder proverb.
Yeah.
No, but right. But I can see that because like 40 is a certain age, and if you don't know several languages, you're not really doing businesses. You can't really trade. You only talking the tongue that you got taught. You ain't even challenge yourself to learn nothing furthermore than what you was told.
All these tongues got taught because at the end of the day, we were able to use telepathy and just speak to each other through vibration. So every single language has been taught to us, and we have indoctrinated all this stuff that don't belong to us. Period.
Like I could be on the show.
Can you get a mic for these last, please?
And I could be doing
these last 20 minutes.
I could be doing fake sign language right now. And since nobody,
go ahead, introduce yourself.
Since nobody don't know Chougie, I could get $20 million.
You could be out here faking it till you make it,
like the Bulls did on the news and all that.
Listen,
so how many people who like speaking fake sign language is burning out our bread every day because we don't speak the language?
Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing? I go by the name Marley the Great. Most people know me as Marseille.
Marley.
Period. Listen, Marley, man, we just gotta look at each other. That's all we gotta do. You already know.
That's that telekinesis.
You already know that is it right there. See, they GMO'd everything, which I gotta understand. I try to stay on topic, but they GMO'd everything down to the telephone. Telephone used to be telepathy. We literally could talk to each other, not using the English, not using spelling words, because these are spells that we put on ourselves every day. Not using spelling words, but using just vibrations and being able to communicate with each other and know exactly what we want to,
like ET phone home.
Right.
Exactly. We still technically we do that. We literally look at each other like
exactly.
And I feel like one of the things when it comes to like languages and things like that we've been taught here in America, or was shamed about, was Ebonics.
Right.
I mean, although that was English, it was something that we understood as a people, and we were taught that it was something that was very negative.
Yeah.
So they actually stripped us of our way of speaking, what might have been secondary, even third,
Yeah,
from
you know why, right? Because the whole thing is they want us to use their spelling words in that manner.
Yeah.
Because if we start breaking it up, then we break the spell up.
Mm-hmm.
If we start using other words outside of, the spell, then it's not working.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what I think. We really need our own language.
Furthermore, they don't know what you're talking about.
That was the problem, though.
That
was the problem.
Like, they want to know what you talk about. That's the bigger issue. Like,
they don't know what
you guys talking about.
Yeah.
Like
840, give us a dictionary.
We'll give you. And it was like the craziest thing to even look at, like, things of that, or growing up, we're all of a certain age and over.
Exactly.
I mean, and growing up speaking Ebonics, or even looking at, like, the only people that probably still to this day is like pimps.
Yeah,
I mean, they definitely still
talk that shit. And Pootie Tang.
Yes,
that's why I fuck with Pootie Tang so much, y'all. I'm telling y'all, Pootie Tang is one of my favorite movies because of Side Eye Tay. Okay, the tippy tall. Okay,
I like the Wayans. I like the Wayans brothers films, like The Message. They always been
my
funny,
guy. Chris helped me down. Yeah.
The Wayans brothers got some of the best films from the 90s, man.
They alright. I'm starting to look at them in a different way.
No, it's cool. I said from the 90s.
You know what I mean?
I ain't talking about white girls and all that.
Yeah, but even when I look at some of the old ones, they've been pushing, hated it and all that stuff.
I'm talking about don't be a menace to South Central about drinking your gin and juice in the hood.
Look at that.
That was a joke.
Hilarious.
That was a joke.
The movie was funny, but look at all the shit it was promoting.
It was messages.
Yeah,
like Mo Money. That's another joint. Mo Money was another banging movie.
Listen,
how they show you if you went to New York and you ain't know how they jukes you and all that, you ain't know no better about the brick in the TV.
Yeah, see this.
Yeah, that was real.
But this the thing. It's real, but it's depicting us in that same. They was doing the bidding for the folks. They was doing the bidding for the folks from day one.
I get you because you on the folks platform. You're going to have to do some of that bid.
Yeah,
it's like paying your taxes.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
If you want that platform, you
yeah. In order to have that platform. All right, let me see. Apply the knowledge. All right, well, Marseille, we're gonna let you
yeah, what you got to say?
Sheesh.
One of the ways to know. One of the ways you breaking away from the matrix. The fake matrix, not the womb, but the fake matrix.
So you're saying which one way that I
all right, let me tell you some of the ones we did already, so you know. All right, start to question religion. You feel like you don't fit in. You begin seeing things differently, and you're uninterested in what some of the masses is interested in.
The third dimensional shit, yeah.
Yeah, your food choices change. Mm-hmm. You hate working for someone else. I didn't mean to say that part. I mean, I didn't get to say that one, but you hate working for someone else. It just irks you. You're able to think freely. You become an influence. I mean, you become an influence by living by example. All right. So let me see. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I would say to a lot of melanated people, we have been taught, especially in America, again, to not indulge in psychedelics. And
oh man,
one thing about that, I could say that was like the death of pride, the death of those negative traits that we tend to carry around.
Yeah, they said that's the drugs. That's terrible.
And it's like when outside of that, once you realize, like, and it's crazy because I've talked to melanated people about their experiences with mushrooms, DMT, whatever the case may be, and the experience was completely different from non-melanated people.
Really?
I
get to do. Well, guess what? Your sister is growing her own. Okay. Yes. For herbal reasons only. So don't go try to record me.
For
herbal research. So don't go trying to throw me under the bus nowhere. This is what it's for. But this is something that was taken from us, stripped from us.
Completely.
And we're able to see our ancestors, and this is what it was used for. And when you go and holler at your ancestors, when you go and holler at your ancestors, they can give you the answer to a lot of things that we're still trying to figure out.
Yes, because it's all there. We are our ancestors.
It's right there.
And so it's like us being incarnated beings, in the past life, I may have been my mother.
Yeah.
Now she might have been my father.
Exactly.
Or grandfather or aunt.
Exactly.
So it's like to tap into those things. I remember this one time I took these shrooms called Penis Envy, or you can find them called Golden Teacher.
Yeah. I'm really doing the Jedi Mindfuck strand.
Oh shit! See, the name is sound crazy. I did it, and I found myself in that, and I spent probably 45 minutes in complete tears, like crying hard as fuck.
Really?
Like, face covered in just tears. In that moment, it was like,
what was you thinking about?
It was the death that I was talking about. You literally, your pride dies. It has to.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Your
goes.
ego dies. It goes away, you know? And even though you come back to the 3D shit, it's still something, that piece is still with you. So in my experience, I'm not going to make it longer drawn out. In my experience, I was crying. It was the first time that I actually really dealt with my grandmother passing 2 years before that. And it was like the time I kept saying 12/20. That was the day that she died.
Okay.
That was her last address as well.
Oh,
her husband moved her to that address while she was here.
So that number means something very significant. My
It meant
son
growth.
will be able to. Okay.
It meant growth, and it meant, like, I definitely had to look it up to see what it meant. And she was the person that I would go to lean on, because everybody would lean on me. You know what I'm saying? So in that moment,
was my grandfather for me, so I feel you.
Hell yeah. So in that moment, it was like I went to the beginning of time.
Oh.
I don't know if y'all ever saw the movie Soul. You ever
I
saw it?
I did.
So you know how the beginning.
So you went back upstairs.
So
to Spirit.
Literally, it was like being on that conveyor belt and seeing all of those stars, but then being close enough for me to grab them. And this huge entity, I cannot even describe what it looked like. Show me from the beginning. And then it had her literally like on my shoulder saying, "This is your turn. You got to do it now. This is left for you to do." And that shit instantly matured the shit out of me. And this was recent. I mean, this was like in the last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was like, or I'll say over a year, like a little over a year and a half. And it was like in that moment, I realized how far I've grown spiritually. And I wasn't giving myself enough credit, but the people that started to come around, like even friend, like, you know what I mean, having the small interactions and conversations that we have, and seeing, you know, the way he'll word something, and just sitting back and watching and like, damn, this man is extremely intelligent.
You know why?
You know what I'm saying?
Fran been hiding it for a long time. I tell everybody
to play with it.
Yes, he do. He plays games in people's face, so they won't even know. They won't even know that Fran is conscious. Like he, like, and I don't use woke because that's what the Republicans and all them motherfucking fake ass people that call they just trying to scam us. You know what I mean? They use that woke shit, so I don't use that. But he's been conscious for a long time, because I remember when I started waking up, I would drop little shit on him. And he'll be like, "Oh, you mean like the such and such of the such and such?" I
watched him do that same exact shit to somebody. I was like,
"Yeah."
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Right. And I'm like, so now I know that I can come to him with nothing that he don't have a answer to. But that's because he's connected to his higher self. He don't listen to it all the time. None of us do. But he ignores the shit out of his a lot.
No,
all right?
no.
Because
It's
he's
sometimes.
fighting something that's very, very, he got some shit with him that he's not ready to do. But it's happening no matter if he likes it or not.
It is.
Yeah, and that's what I said. You don't have to worry. Once you start getting pulled in, you don't have to worry about if you're doing this right and if you're walking in the right direction, because we're being pulled in. We're not running to it. We're being sucked in.
I would definitely want to add to what I've realized is that I've been more present and living in the moment.
Yes.
And just being and realizing that, you know, the past doesn't exist and the future is literally your imagination.
Your imagination.
You know what I mean? So you have to be present. And that's once I started realizing that, I was able to, you know, not be stressed the fuck out. And,
Exactly.
you know, depressed about shit or have
Exactly.
anxiety, because
It don't
it's like,
matter.
it's the here and now. This
It
moment
don't
is
even
what
matter.
it is.
Yeah, that
You
shit
get what I'm
don't
saying?
matter. Like, it literally don't matter. We just down here to experience things. And your imagination is literally the director, the creator. And you're imagining things, and then that's where they fuck us up at when they tell kids, that's just your imagination.
No, that's because the imagination is controlled. Like, the imagination been controlled since shadow puppets, you know. So once they identify, we can go like this, and people watch a bird on the wall, like, we got your mind.
Well, what if you was 7 years old and your mother told you that your imagination is going to create your tomorrow?
I mean, that's the reality of it. Yeah, because somebody had to imagine a TV, or they was just a crackhead, right? I'm going to just take you, and I'm going to get this little screen of glass,
Yeah.
and I'm going to see you out of it.
Right.
They going to be like,
see you.
But I mean,
but
to
somebody
take away,
imagination made that exist, so
Right.
that's the truth.
But to take away, I'm talking about full-fledged. Your imagination is this God they speak of in the Bible that knows all and sees all. Okay, so when you literally tell a child this, and then they start to live it out, because you know they're young, so they're impressionable, and now they start to live it out, then they believe it because they live it.
What's the
You believe
game?
it.
It's not for if
It's not even
everybody
a
live
game.
it out. No, It is a game.
I mean, it's a game. It is a game. It is a game. It is a game.
If everybody live it out, then the resources is took. It's not for. They don't want everybody to be in Princeton. They don't want everybody to know how to make a rocket shit.
Everybody not.
They don't want everybody to know how to make a submarine.
No,
so what I'm saying is, you can't make a rocket shit without imagination. You can't make a submarine without imagination. You can't do nothing great beyond the natural thought process without imagination. It's impossible.
But see, the thing is, though, friend, it's not a good or bad thing. It's not a good or bad. They took it
on purpose. That's what I'm saying.
So they can use it for their own.
And used to elect 5% people and keep them to themselves away from the world.
Right.
And keep us on dummy time.
Right.
I would really say that to me. Another word that I would use, I guess, that adults can feel comfortable with that
thought
would be manifestation.
Okay.
Because, even the thought, to the Bible, this realm, technically, from what the Bible is saying, it started off as a thought. I think, therefore I am. And I mean, so that thought, God imagined this place and then manifested this place into reality. And that's the funny thing about this realm is all of these things are a manifestation. Like you said, imagination. And I mean, the person had to think of how to create that receiver for us to then hear it back through these headphones. That should still get me, how I'm looking at me right now.
That's why I made that. That's why I made that example. It's like, it's nobody that with no imagination could even say that. That's not practical.
Exactly.
So if everybody was practical as much as they want to, we wouldn't have all these great inventions and interventions.
But my thing is, the same way that you can use it for good to make yourself have a beautiful day tomorrow, you can make yourself have a terrible day tomorrow. And every thought that you have is creating a new dimension somewhere. Yep. So you got to be very careful with your thought and precise and things going to cross your mind, but to just be able to fade those things away and replace them for the better or whatever. But people are using that imagination to make us suffer, but that creates karmatic debt that you have to repay. So I wouldn't suggest that you go out there trying to use it to to fuck somebody
for
over.
Because
it's coming for you,
real, and it's something that we don't realize a lot of times that what lesser magic is. So it's like me telling you, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna break in and I'm gonna ransack your shit, steal your dog, and whatever. Right. And then I'll actually act out those things from the way that they move, because the way they actually believe in those laws, they believe in those universal laws.
Oh, absolutely.
They tell us in everything. And I mean, so when shit happens to us, we knew it was our decision to make to agree or disagree or actually
consent.
even look at it. Yeah, exactly. That's why you have to give consent. That is exactly why you have to give consent.
Like the vampire that you can't let in unless you let him in.
That's right.
You gotta let the bloodsuckers in.
And the one piece that goes with, we got a little off topic, but this is all stuff that you guys need to hear anyway. And the universe works in divine order. Mm-hmm. However, the one thing that has to connect the batteries to your imagination is your heart. Yes. So your heart, your intentions and your thought and your imagination has to match what you feel in your heart. Yes. If the two don't connect, then it won't happen. Never. It's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? So if you have larceny in your heart and you have those thoughts, then that evil shit gonna work. Yeah, exactly. But if you got love in your heart and you're vibrating at a high frequency and you want better for somebody, you can literally help somebody's situation change for the better.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they don't want it, then that's a whole nother ball game. But if they want it and you see that they want it and you're in their circle, you can send those vibrations and those thoughts to them.
And they show you that with like the Care Bears. They show you how.
Oh, yep, perfect example.
How they all come together and they all use their heart chakra to heal. So they
wouldn't even.
They wouldn't even put stuff out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't had no type of validity to it.
It has lots of validity. But we can sit here and talk all the time. Thank you so much, Marley. Listen, Marley got some some music that'll snatch you right on in there, okay? I don't know if it's 432 hertz, but it's damn sure good to me.
It sound good then it is good.
We'll be
words
back.
Of James Brown.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll catch y'all later. Thank y'all for being here with
Peace.
me. Chougie.
Peace, love, and happiness.